Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights of today's LEC 2025 matchup.
Get back into a position with the ramp up to then get the crash down, and you won't have the crash down available, which is kind of the shield you want for a potential dive, but level 3 on Oscarinen.
Mount up instead, it's now run its course, so no flip back yet. In fact, the counter-strike, well done. I was wrong, but Alvaro didn't get the mount up anyways. Oscarinen now's trying to buy space. Super starts auto-attacking, takes a turret shot, the flash, ignite down, they're out of turret range, but Oscarinen uses the ward, but Super playing.
It does make it very difficult for Jojo Pyun to really trade effectively, and it means that then Jojo hasn't been able to really contest a lot of the movements. So even here you can see...
Flash from Mickey against the wall, and I see a cow who's leveraged Super against the wall, still there. Daisy now joins in, and a bullet time that Super can't escape from. His flash was up in 5 seconds, and it's a well-utilized time from Fnatic.
Jungle support that we saw worked so well for them last year to pick up all of this early objectives. They're about to kill Dragon. They already have the 3 of the Void Grubs as well, which means that if they're able to start looking towards, hey, we can steal away 1 Void Grub in a minute's time.
That's actually a good comparison too. Either way, I mean, KOI are set up to pull it out this game as Fnatic look to contest. Razork has got Daisy back up and available, but as Daisy enters the Rift once again, KOI have a good position, now almost getting 2 grubs.
Yeah, still though, Alvaro's very far from his team.
Yeah, he might be dead actually. Humanoid is also far from his team. He gets shuffled by Jojo, but the gravity field again does a bit of work. Chaos Storm can't finish him off though, and that's the first kill. Now, grubs reset, 2 still up and available as KOI look for the next part of the fight.
Alvaro on the flank though, only just spotted out by Mickey. Mickey needs to keep him out.
Crash down is good, but Mickey has done his job. Bullet time there, but Alvaro flashes before he gets the final hit. Bullet time caught midway as Elyoya comes through. Mirwan gets a flash out of Upset, who's running for his life. Fnatic are losing this fight despite the low health bars from KOI. As a flip back from Mirwan is exceptional. The kill goes down, duly given credit as KOI again swimming there. Remember, again, it's going to be the same outcome that you see every other single game as Mirwan might be in trouble. Grandmaster Arms has popped, the flip back is there, and he's going to try and take the 1v1, but Mirwan can't redirect anymore. Remember, all out, and Mirwan now playing with a couple of daggers, bit of true damage as well in the kit as TP burnt, and that means that Movistar KOIs have backup.
Still though, Elyoya is here, so I think you can actually just look for the tower off the back of this. So good call by Jojo Pyun to follow up here, and here we go.
Against the wall, misses though. A counter-strike now subdues him, and Elyoya has to flash away. Not perfect, but the teleport can't be cancelled even though the turret's gone, and who cares if it was? Humanoid bursts into the scene, and against the wall, a mistake by Elyoya who's left alone, but the Impale, is it enough is the new question as he gets out with a sliver of his life, and somehow KOI are making it work. Super doesn't get taken down. The Chaos Ray almost does the job, but Fnatic just can't get a break with these 1-inch fights.
Fnatic just can't. Look at MF. Yes, Varus outranges as the auto attack range, but MF has this ultimate that hits you from an entire screen away, so she has an effective range that's longer, whereas when you're on hit Varus, it can be a little bit difficult to get into these fights, especially if you're under threat from Oscarinen jumping in, a flash from Mickey. There's a lot of things that can catch you out as you try and go for it, but Movistar KOI have been playing really well around Super to enable him in these fights, and same with Jojo Pyun, just making sure that they are constantly safe and dealing the DPS if they need to.
And they're in such a good position. Dragon now taken, spawning a Mountain Soul here when they have Cassante, Skarner, Rel. A good front-to-back comp, feels good as Alvaro actually might be caught out against the turret though.
Mickey, no!
That was not right. Dagda, I think they didn't want him to go overside.
Yeah, I think they wanted him to stay put, and I don't think Mickey really needed to put anything there to make sure that happened, but Alvaro saying thank you very much to Mickey for saving him. It will be Oscarinen though on the sideline catching stuff out as...
Hello, Daisy.
Okay, got the interrupt, so we'll complete the tower. Rift Tower going to be the next focus. Immediately, Mirwan has to go down and catch that big wave because he was interrupted, which is buying time now for Oscarinen to get the reset and could potentially open up on mid to look for a play if they want to, but I think Fnatic are just too far out of position to really try and follow up an upset, also on reset, so this is going to be a 4th objective now going over towards Movistar KOI, and they're in a fantastic spot here.
Herald in the back pocket. It's an early game of wonders and Fnatic have really struggled to grasp themselves. There's a couple of mistakes that we've seen as Jojo going to walk into the gravity field. He cares not because the setup's there. Alvaro flashes, gets a Magnet Storm, holds them in place. Super does the same with Chains Corruption, but it only eventually gets Humanoid as he's out of range. Now Teleport as Fnatic want to look for a turn. Oscarinen sets it up, but it's met by an Impale. Ulti on the way out, damage being done, but they can't get the job done again until Mirwan under turret says no! Humanoid gets in range. Blinking health bars everywhere. A Root Caller gets it onto Super, but a knockback says 100%. Always remember that MSI, you know, top 4 on Evil Geniuses as well. When he was alongside people like Inspired, you know, previously Rogue in the past at LEC as well. I mean, JoJo.
But when it has come to day 1 of the LEC, we've seen it time and time again. Scrims don't matter, and it's Movistar going on towards this 3rd dragon.
They really don't, do they? Fnatic are going to try and contest. They started with a TP, but as Herald is going to be summoned in the midst of it to make a 6th man, Fnatic now think about how they get in from this choke. Dragon looked away from Koi, instead looking for an engage. Poke is there, Mickey starts it off, but he just presents himself for another Heartsteel stack. Backs off, and Fnatic can't make a decision. Miwon gets a stun back as well. The gravity field stuns no one, and in goes JoJo! Dun, dun, da, 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 da. He is dead! Dagda, Mad Koi has still found themselves though. Running forward, Miwon with a flip back, but even though they find JoJo, it's a golden win for the rest of Koi.
I mean, is it a beautiful end to the anime though, as Yoya wants to try and go a little deeper. We'll get stunned up. No support.
Super to follow. Yoink, another stack goes down the range. Almost connects with Oscar and Fnatic are back in their base.
And Movistar on the bottom side. Like, Humanoid has TP, not matching, and these are the same mistakes we saw Fnatic making in the mid-game last year, where they're just not quite in the positions that they should be, over-committing with TPs to plays that they shouldn't have. And this was the worry, was could Mickey and Upset be a big enough voice? Or maybe if you can keep Movistar Koi at bay, you can look for some sort of trade there, but I think with the position Movistar are in, they're just going to push in top, get vision over this topside jungle, and immediately turn and burn this new objective.
Or at least go for the inner turret in the meantime as well. Oscar is just waiting patiently as Miwon absorbs a bit of damage, but cares not really. That is a 2-item tank here now with Spirit Visage, as Elyoya with an Impale has found himself a cheeky Razork. Chain's Corruption make it easy as well, and there's future knockups to come as Mickey just takes some damage. Bullet time is nothing from Upset, and there you go. Koi have an advantage. No jungler, no smite. Take your pick.
Yeah, Baron gonna be taken. Like, you don't need to take Adakan because, well, you can go for Baron, go for Adakan, reset, and then just have this insane buff as you go through the enemy base. So Oscar Ridden trying desperately to get in a position, but there's no ult for Upset. This is a bit risky for Fnatic.
Getting stun after stun, no smite, of course, means that the risk stops there as Humanoid looking to get shuffled on, flashes away. JoJo now just auto-attacking, goes golden with a Chaos Storm in the middle of the wave, but again, Koi have taken another one to bite the dust, and that Chaos Storm is not going to get the kill either. Koi just keep getting pick after pick, kill after kill, blood after blood.
Really do to dispel this. You don't even have ultimates anymore.
It's going to get flashy for someone like JoJo as well, and what a debut. Dagda, I know the hype that came from Fnatic. I know that the hype that was there, saying they could be better than teams like G2, are they the best? Right now, people are questioning, like, hang on a minute. What do we think of Koi? What do we think of Fnatic now?
But the problem is, if JoJo Pyun just rocks all the European mid laners, like he's just beating Humanoid, does that mean that he just gets to rub all those old tweets in our face? Like, we kind of need him to be a little bit humble.
Right.
He can't just come into the region and just ruin everything, you know?
Cash, you got a big task to do. He got a lot to say. But for now, Humanoid little here in this game where he hasn't been able to play out his Victor. Been able to stack much as Oscar Renan with a stun. This is a hope. He's got Grandmaster's Might on top of Miwon, but the rest of Koi are running in. JoJo does it again, but this time more members feel the sting as he sits in, takes no damage, and Upset tries to beat him some, but JoJo rocks up into a bullet time and will withdraw to play it back again.
And this is spectacular from JoJo Pyun. This is how you use the Adakan buff, setting up your team spectacularly to take 2 of these inhibitors with the Baron buff. And honestly, they might even be able to take a Nexus turret or 2. Now, Nexus turrets do respond, but does this game last 3 more minutes? I don't really think so.
I'm just wondering if JoJo can get there before they try and end the game. Here we go, all in from Alvaro, doesn't connect. Miwon the same as well. Oscar and gets backline access, but does he have enough damage? He's swayed once more and broken down. GA pops, but super here to auto as Mickey tries to delay the inevitable. That GA should give him a little bit more to play through as Miwon and Super still left standing, and look at Super having the time of his life on this virus. He blights one and takes another. A GA to send them back as Fnatic are left with no Nexus turrets.
There is nothing in the base of Fnatic, and what makes it worse is this false life. The fact you only get 100 gold for each of those kills you desperately had to work for, whereas Movistar Koi get all the gold, a quick reset, a mountain soul for themselves because they're back on the map faster, and now just get to waltz into your base as you're trying to hold. You literally get half a second to breathe and you're back into it.
Don't worry, Dagda, if they wait 2.5 minutes, the Nexus turrets will respawn.
I like the quote from Betty.
You might not think this is important, but I won a game thanks to these respawning. I'd like to see the proof.
Well, Fnatic are gonna maybe need to find proof in the pudding here because they need something to go their way.
They need an entire cake at this point, Dagda, and if they could eat it too, they'd probably be given the time to look at those respawning Nexus turrets. There's a nice flip back. Mickey looking for his last engage. Chain of Corruption flash away, and nicely done from Super. An exceptional debut for him this year as well, as you might be surprised, but everyone looked at this roster as one to prove the point. They went to Worlds last year, but they're looking to take a championship with it too, as they beat down Fnatic in 30.